You're going to adopt somebody else?
Yeah, literally. I talked so much crap about you in the last episode, and you were my least favorite character, and it's because you were doing the right
AU signifies gold. Some of you out there are like, duh, you idiots.
Welcome to the Besties in the Books podcast, guys. I'm Liz.
And I'm Ashley. And welcome to our official third episode for Red Rising. Woo! This is our bonus series that we are covering right now. And this is our deep dive into book 2, Golden Sun. We kicked off this whole thing with a, what is science fiction episode where we discussed the history of the genre and why it is different from fantasy and the implications of these differentiations. That's a hard word for me. Sorry. Did I do it right? Differentiations? Yeah. Okay, great. And what they have, the differentiations. Now, don't say it too many times, Ashley, have on us modern day readers, and then covered book 1 of Red Rising, of course. So this is a first time read for both of us. You guys have told us for so long we need to read it, and hey, spoiler, we're happy we are.
Yeah, we're having a good time while Pierce Brown ruins our lives.
We're having a good time.
And a bad time.
A hard time. Yeah, but in a good way. Yeah. How about that?
Hey, we're releasing a bonus episode each week on Friday where we'll be deep diving the rest of these books. So here we are with Golden Sun. If you know, you know. If you don't know, the beginning of this will be our spoiler-free reviews and a little bit of spoiler-free Red Rising lore, if you will, or fun facts. We're planning on wrapping this all up with the 6 books and then obviously our intro episode. If we feel like we need a wrap-up episode, we'll throw that in at the end where we rank everything as well. But we won't know until we know because we're brand new to this universe. So this is a first time read for us and it is just shocking us around every corner. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're going to be examining Golden Sun through the dystopian lens, the political lens, and of course the science fiction versus fantasy lens. But as usual, if you're kind of wondering, like maybe you read Red Rising and you're like, should I continue on? Like Red Rising was really good. I can't imagine finishing Red Rising and not wanting to continue on, but
there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that didn't love the first one. But I'll tell you this. Anybody that I see does that and they continue, they get it, they love it, because it is a bit of a tonal shift.
It is. It's a huge tonal shift, I feel like, actually.
So we'll keep reading, in other words.
Keep reading forever because, oh, good golly, it's crazy. So we'll be giving you our spoiler-free star and spice ratings and then getting into all of the spoilers with the 5-sentence summary that broke my entire brain yesterday. So cool. I'm fine. Everything's fine. But before we get into that, we just wanted to say thank you so much for being here.
Seriously, thank you so much for taking time out of your day and your book to come and hang out with us and see what we have to say about book 2 from Red Rising, Golden Sun. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe anywhere you like to listen to favorite podcasts, including YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. We're Besties in the Books podcast everywhere. And we have a Fable chat. So that's a virtual spoiler-free way to join in these book reads with us. You can download it for free. We are Besties in the Book Club there. If you search for us, we have monthly book club reads. We have our bonus series that we cover. And we'll have another series in the winter season. So you make sure to jump on that.
I think a lot of you guys are going to be into that one too. So I know I am. I'm excited.
At the end of every bonus series, we announce the upcoming series. So at the end of Red Rising, we'll tell you what that next one is. So you can gear up and get to reading.
Let's just kick it off with a little bit of Red Rising spoiler-free fun facts / lore.
Okay.
Let's
do it.
All right. So this one I thought was super fun. Again, take these with a grain of salt. These are just from the internet. Are they true? Are they not true? We don't know. But hey, I feel like this one, it was funny because I didn't go fact check it. I didn't go fact check it. It's been a long time since I've seen this. So we'll just have to take it for what it is. But I thought this was cool. So Darrow's line, "Never tell me the odds, just do it," is a popular line from Star Wars that Han Solo says in Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh. Huh.
So purposefully in there to kind of like call out. And there was actually another really cool call out to Star Wars, but it's a little spoilery. So I didn't want to include it. So we'll have to put it in a different episode.
Okay. Yeah. Or maybe at the end or something.
No.
Oh, okay, great. Oh,
It's from
later.
the future.
It's a different book.
It's from the future.
It's from the future. Great. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But we'll hit you with that later. We'll hit you with that
Yeah.
later. But I do like that there are multiple Star Wars pop culture references in here.
Cool.
That's neat.
I love it. Yes.
Okay,
for sure.
so what do you have for us today?
My fun fact is, hey, I barely passed chemistry because we had a teacher.
Caught himself on fire, dare I say.
Caught himself on fire, but in his defense, he was great in my book because he drove up and said, hey, what grade do you need to pass and stay a cheerleader? And so I told him. Therefore, I did not know this until I looked it up. I was going through the character list and I was like, oh, AU. Does that mean gold in the chemistry periodic table?
Oh.
I did not know that. Did you know that?
I didn't know
AU
No.
is the symbol for gold on the periodic table. Okay, I feel better. Because you took chemistry honors, didn't you?
No.
Oh, you didn't? You ever take chemistry right there with me?
I think so. Or I was just in a different period. I must have been in a different period. But yeah, no, I definitely barely passed that class.
Yeah, barely. I think most of us did. And
Yeah.
people in honors were like, ah! I don't know. I don't know.
It was a wild
I
ride.
think he had to listen. I could call out a lot of people here, but I think he basically just had let people pass.
Yeah.
Because he's like, who's using this? I'm like, well, I kind of needed to use it for this book. 20 years later.
Yeah, it would have
But
helped
I
us out.
Googled it, and it is AU. So when they say people like Augustus or whatever, AU signifies gold. Some of you out there are like, duh, you idiots, but so sorry. I'm a reader, not a chemistry teacher. I don't know.
I'm not a
Your
chemist.
chemistry teacher didn't know.
Yeah, literally. I didn't know that either, so that's great.
FE.
There you go.
So
There you go.
I can't use that information for anything, but I do know it.
Hey, I would have just accepted it as a made up thing and moved on with my life, but I love that it actually has meaning, which we're finding everything in these books has a deeper meaning. So,
which we'll go over some more when I have some more stuff to go over for this episode.
when I have more things, when there are more things, we will tell you those things.
Stuff. I have some more stuff to go over in
Yeah.
a little bit, but for now, there's your little teaser of things that. What is his name? What's the Jeopardy guy's name?
Alex Trebek.
What is everything is there for a reason for $1,000? Alex Trebek.
Yep. Okay,
Yep.
so what about your spoiler-free star rating and brief review?
Oh, come on. 5 stars. I thought I liked book 1. I love book 2.
Yep.
I like it better. So ranking in my own brain is already starting. I like Golden Sun better than Red Rising. Tonal shift for sure. Here's the thing. So much happens in this book, guys.
Which you will see in my 5-sentence summary that's literally 10,000 pages long. Good luck.
Yeah. It's like, how do you review a book like this? It is so good. So just read it. You want to feel all the things? You like political intrigue and scheming? Oh my gosh, you like sci-fi, you like fantasy? You guys, if like we said, if you read Rising and you're kind of iffy, give Golden Sun a try because I think literally everyone would like it. So just do it.
Yeah. I mean, 5 stars, infinity stars. This will definitely I'm so excited to see where the rest of the series takes us because at this point, Golden Sun is one of my favorite books ever. Not in the Red Rising universe, in the universe.
Wow. That's some heavy pants to wear.
Yeah. But I loved it that much.
Good.
Yeah.
Wow. There you go, guys.
The political subterfuge piece is insane. I think that what I love about it, it's not to compare, but we're going to compare because I feel like that's what we do here. It's conceptually Game of Thrones in space. That's what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, last time was Hunger Games in space. This time is Games of Thrones in space.
Yeah. Except for, I will say, as someone who has also read much of Game of Thrones, not all of it, it's tonally completely different. Literally, Pierce Brown and George R.R. Martin could not have more different writing styles, so don't even think that that's what I mean. Just conceptually, as far as, the political subterfuge is insane. And one thing that I really appreciate about Pierce Brown's writing is that I feel like the characters are so well developed and are growing and flawed and very interesting. And the philosophy behind a lot of the political situations that we're dealing with, but also with a lot of the ethical situations that we're dealing with is fleshed out like very well. And so in like a, I'd say fairly accessible way. And so for that reason, yeah, Infinity Stars, 5 stars, loved it. Less than 1 spice, like 1 spice. I think there was 1 little scene in there, if I'm remembering right.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Spice,
so it's like a 1 or less, basically, is how this one would be ranked for sure.
There's a romance subplot, but
Yeah.
spice, I don't really remember anything sticking out. So yeah.
But that's at this stage in the game, I'd say love is an overarching theme, but spice, no, that's not the point of it at this time. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, should we get into the spoiler section with this 5-sentence summary that's like literally out of control?
Let's go! That's not the right side. It's this side. Okay. Hey, by the way, so sorry to leave you hanging when you were having an existential crisis on this 5-sentence summary. I hope it didn't take you 5 hours because I saw like a text from you around noon that was like, hey, oh no. And then at around 5 o'clock is like, okay, I finished it. Like, oh no.
No, there was a break in there, but I will say, not asking for sympathy, but it probably did take me about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
To put it together. Yeah.
How would you like
appreciate
me
it
to give you a treat with my musical abilities?
Just whatever. It's
like,
good.
is it structured in a 5-sentence style way?
Yeah.
We use sentence loosely over here. Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
I'll give you a little dilly dally at the end.
Well, because it's all with from Darrow's perspective, point of view. Okay, Here we go. Buckle up for this ride. It's crazy.
Okay.
All right. It has been 2 years since Darrow bested the society at the Institute and swore his fealty to House Augustus and now currently attends the Academy, where they routinely test their fluency in war, simulating real situations at the expense of lower colors. Carnus Bologna outfights Darrow in an important exercise in which he wished to kill him but cannot because of the protection the Augustus family grants him. So instead, the Bolognas beat and shame him, encouraging Augustus to auction his contract off rather than continue to absorb the literal and political cost of this ongoing blood feud between them, pushing Darrow, who hasn't heard from Mustang since he left Mars or from the Sons of Ares in 2 years, to meet, with Victor's help, the Jackal, who has been in exile since his disgrace at the Academy, but who has purchased 30% of the media and now plans to buy Darrow's contract in exchange for him acting as his warlord in his scheme to oust Pliny, his father's slimy advisor, Leto, his father's beloved lancer and presumed heir, and to take down the Sons of Ares in order to once again gain favor. And Darrow agrees. After saving their lives from an explosion, the rebels try to kill Adrius with.
One.
Like,
that was good.
The theme
it
of
wasn't good, but it was good enough.
Like, this book has, like, crazy, like, rock vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's a space opera. I need, like, some kind of space-sounding musical instrument. We'll see. Maybe in the next episode I'll find something. I need to try to remember.
Can't wait. I literally can't wait. All right, so that's just sentence 1. Here we go. Darrow goes with Evie, who detonated that bomb, to meet with the Sons, where Harmony is now in charge because Dancer has died. The rebels appear to have gone completely rogue, bombing and taking revenge randomly and haphazardly, seemingly with no unified purpose, so Darrow accepts that there is no longer a plan, deciding to move on. When Harmony shows him the video footage of Eo's hanging and her final words to her sister, confessing that she is pregnant, but Darrow can never know. So in his blind rage, he agrees to officially start the war by bombing the gala that all of the Golds will be attending, first drugging Roke and putting him in a safe location, but before he can go through with this plan, Mustang walks in on Cassius's arm, and rather than blow them all up, he sees this as an opportunity to incite civil war through more strategic means, challenging Cassius to an official duel to resolve the blood feud, which he accepts, not knowing that Darrow has been training with the greatest retired knight of all time, Lorne Arkos, and when he is about to land the killing blow, the Sovereign steps in to change the rules to accept a yield, exposing her bias and loyalties, destroying order, and causing a bloodbath to ensue between the houses.
Ho, 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 ho. 2.
Oh, God, this book. It's stressing me out just reading the summary. Okay.
That was just the beginning.
Okay. All right. Fitchner, now the Rage Knight, intercepts Darrow, Augustus, and the Jackal on their escape and takes them to the Sovereign, who offers Darrow the position of a knight, which he, quote-unquote, accepts after besting her at her own game of truth, in which she reveals that her intention all along was actually to assassinate the entire Augustus family altogether, aside from Mustang, pending the condition that she marry Cassius. But Mustang sneaks him a message to take cover right before Severo and his Howlers show up to bust them out, using Lysander, the Sovereign's grandson that Mustang kidnapped, as a bargaining chip, successfully escaping but losing Quinn to grave brain injuries inflicted by Asia in the process, Tactus, who turns on them and escapes with Lysander to presumably join the Sovereign's side, but ultimately commandeering a ship captained by Orion and convincing many low colors, including Ragnar, a Stained, to join their cause and band together once they're made aware of Octavia's tyranny. 3. Severo reveals that he is aware of who Darrow is and was sent with a message from Dancer, who actually is alive, and the Sons to stay the course, causing war between the Golds. Victor proves her loyalty to Darrow, and he trusts her even though her family's on the opposing side. Mustang reveals that this was all part of her plan and insists that Darrow not trust her brother. Darrow convinces Augustus that he is not a Democrat or rebel, but is merely interested in helping Augustus rise to become the King of Mars. And per his request, Darrow travels to Europa to convince Lorne to join their cause, which he only reluctantly agrees to because Octavia saw their meeting and he's forced to choose sides in the ambush. They get away with Tactus, who helps them escape and repents, but Lorne kills him anyway because he cannot be trusted. And Mustang announces that Pliny has begun a coup, working with the Bolognas, and have captured Augustus and Adrius, trying to make her a deal for marriage. But she snatched his eye out and escaped with Adrius's help, so Darrow's team ambushes Pliny and frees their people, exposing his weaknesses so the very people he allied with kill him and join House Augustus, starting with the deployment of the first Iron Rain in 20 years over the capital.
4.
Crazy. It's crazy, man. All right. They split up, Mustang successfully shutting down the shields to the city, allowing the allies to storm it, while Darrow, Severo, Ragnar, and their team try to sneak in to find the Sovereign, but are immediately immobilized by an EMP that Cassius's team deploys, almost dying inside their suits, but breaking free in time for Darrow to jump over her escape ship, kill Karnas, and then have Fitchner reveal that he is actually Ares before jumping out of the ship into the sky. Darrow wakes up a week later to the new reality that they are in a full-blown civil war. Most of the Bolognas are now dead. Adrius is holding some of the rebels hostage, but they rescue them in secret, maintaining the tenuous alliance between them. And the Son's plan is for him to be adopted as Augustus's heir, helping him rise up as high as possible until they assassinate him and Darrow can step into rule. He agrees on the condition he can see his family before he goes to war and reveal his true self to Mustang in the process, and it is granted, he and his mother reuniting briefly, but Mustang rejecting the information and fleeing rather than kill him. And at his triumph, shortly thereafter, a bloodbath ensues when it is revealed that Roke has turned, the Jackal double-crossed him and murders Augustus, Lorne is killed, Victor and Ragnar are gravely injured, and Cassius drugs Darrow, immobilizing him so he can be taken, showing him Ares' head in a box. The screams I scrubbed, and then Ashley was like, okay, it's time to take a break. We need to read Ballad of Falling Dragons. And I'm like, girl! Girl! Oh my god. Dude.
I'm so sorry!
Hey, listen.
At least you gotta start it.
I know.
Start it.
The beginning of Morning Star is brutal, though, so good luck to us all. Okay,
there you go, guys.
Not to toot my own horn, but honestly, I think I blacked out and wrote that yesterday during those 2 hours, and that actually turned out better than I expected.
That was really good. That was a really good summary.
I didn't read it since then because I was like, I can't look at this anymore. It's hurting my eyes. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. It's crazy. That's a lot happened in the book. How do you recap it without freaking just writing the whole book over again?
Literally. Or writing nothing important. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Good freaking job. Gold and stars, infinity stars, all the stars in all the Red Rising galaxy for you. You get a moon. Here you go. Here's Luna.
Great. I don't know if I want it. Okay. So, Ash, do you have any new important characters to note or anything like that we should know about?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
All
Buckle up, guys.
Okay.
Buckle up.
Here we go.
For me, Red Rising was really hard to understand all the characters. I don't know if it's because there's so many or that plus the names are just a jumble bag of mush in my brain. So I
wrote them all down because I was like,
okay, yeah.
I can't remember anything.
You have to.
Yeah.
This book, because characters are being more fleshed out and more significant things are happening to the specific people, it's starting to make more sense in my brain, character-wise, all the characters. But I did enlist the help of Wikipedia to break down some of these characters.
Okay.
So let's do it. Starting with important characters to note, I'm going to just go through a bit of a list now of who we're working with now, okay?
All right.
For Golden Sun, and we'll talk about R.I.P. as we go for the next book.
Yeah.
So we have Darrow. Okay, we don't need to go into him again because he's our main character.
Yep.
That's great. Virginia Augustus is Mustang, okay? And she is MIA right now, right? So that's what we have going into the next book.
Yep.
Adrius Augustus is Sociopath, the Jackal.
Her twin.
There, I said it.
Her twin brother.
Yeah. Nero Augustus is the arch-governor that Darrow goes and works for. So he's a weirdo. Victra Julie. So she's actually a lancer for House Augustus and is the half-sister for Antonia Severus. Okay. Antonia is Bad News Bears. They have had her and Darrow have this stupid rivalry.
Yeah.
And really it's because Antonia is classist and racist.
Yeah.
But doesn't even know it, but is. You know what I mean?
And
she knows it. But
and also crazy, I think, too.
She's
just in
crazy.
general.
Yeah. She's right up there with a jackal. So
Yeah.
two peas in a pod there for sure. Roke Fabi. So he was a lancer of House Augustus. Now he is a two-faced hoe.
Traitor.
Working for the jackal. Traitor! Oh, which I saw it coming, but it still hurts. Okay. Then we had Tactus, so R.I.P. He was a lancer at the time of the House Augustus, who also double-crossed him, but then, was coming back, and then right through the armpit.
Yep. Lauren was like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm too old for this nonsense. Took him out. Yep.
So we get to meet some of Pax's family. So we have Cavix. So he is the father of Daxo. And then Daxo is the brother of Pax. So that is his family joins. I think I said that right. And then, did I say that right?
I don't know.
It says Cavix, father of Daxo and Pax. And then Daxo was Pax's brother, obviously. So family tree right there in a little ball. And they're great, though. I love them.
I love them, too. They're awesome.
It's like Pierce knew we missed Pax so much. He's like, well, here's little Daxo.
So
Not
yeah,
little,
so
he's
I
giant.
had that Kavax Telemanus is Pax's dad, and then Daxo is his brother.
Yeah.
Okay, just
Yeah.
making sure. Okay.
We still have Cassius freaking ruining the day.
Armless, though,
Nick of
now,
time.
so-
Armless Cassius. So joke's on him. Haha.
I mean, he's going to just get a new arm. But
Yeah.
still, that's
He's-
not the point.
Bionic arm.
Bionic arm?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Hey.
I have not been looking at spoilers, so I don't know anything, so none of y'all tell me this, but I am still open to Cassius having a redemption arc. I am still open to that.
It's so early in the game here. And Cassius had a glimmer of maybe something there in Red Rising 1.
Totally.
I think that he's just really messed up and indoctrinated.
Yeah.
So we'll see though. I could
Yeah.
be eating my words.
Yeah.
So he did some bad stuff at the end there, especially, but we'll
Yeah.
see. It's hard because it's coming from that Hunger Games mindset. It's you only know what you know.
Yep.
So, and then we still have the Sovereign, Octavia. She is still
Yeah.
with us, right?
She's still with us because she's still in power. Yeah.
Yeah, she's still not cut down yet. Then Lysander, I didn't even realize this connection until I was reading it, but obviously that's the heir of the Sovereign, and it's her grandson. It's also the grandson of Lorne?
Yes. So
they were together? Or different
I was a little bit
different grandparents?
I thought it was different grandparents, but yes, you are correct. It's the Sovereign's grandson and also Lorne's grandson. So there's that connection there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a pawn right now.
Yeah.
Let's see which place he goes. Let's see which side he takes.
Yeah, I mean, but he's also like what, like 7 or 10 or
exactly.
something? Yeah.
Yeah. Aja is also still with us. You said Aja. I said Aja.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure. Yeah.
She is the knight, right-hand man, basically. Woman. Then we also have Lorne. Well, not anymore.
We had Lorne. I know.
Had Lorne. Oh, sweet angel, little baby of an old man. Okay. We had Fitchner, who ended up being Aries.
I know. I'm sorry, Fitchner. I talked so much crap about you in the last episode, and you were my least favorite character, and it's because you were doing the right thing, but you were so good at acting that I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Now he's gone.
And now it's too late, Liz. Now it's too late. His whole head, the whole time.
I knew someone's head was going to be in that box. I knew it. I thought it was going to be Mustang's head, though. So I was actually kind of happy that it wasn't Mustang's head. Let's be honest.
I'm not happy with either situation. Well, I did like Fitchner.
No, I wasn't happy either. I mean, it was horrible, but I was like, oh, it's not Mustang's head. Okay, it's like a nominally better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen her in a while. So I was like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So what's going to happen there? Okay. I already talked about her. Okay, we don't have Pliny anymore, thank God.
Yeah, he's out.
Slimy slimester. He's gone.
I love that Mustang just yanked his eye on out, though. That was cool.
Yeah, that was great. Mm-hmm. We do have Dancer. He is actually back. So he was not actually dead, okay? Because Harmony was a liar. Did Harmony die? I don't remember.
I think she still lives to see another day. Yeah.
And we got a return of Mickey. So yeah, those are like the main people that we are working with in this book. So I, for one, have who am I missing?
I don't think you said Severo and the Howlers.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was just like Yes, obviously the best and the most important is Severo and the Howlers, but R.I.P. to Quinn.
I know.
And there's a handful of other ones we lost out there too. Like, I don't even think I fully grappled with all of those deaths yet either. Come to mention it. I think I blacked that all out.
Yeah. Oh, and then I had forgot to put this in the summary. I don't know where I would have fit it in, but Leto, who was supposed to be, Augustus's new heir, was slimily killed by the jackal at some point as well. So he's gone too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think that you covered all that. Well, and then also Ragnar, who I love.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't say Victra.
I love Victra as well.
Honestly, is she dead? She's dying.
I said gravely injured, so we shall see.
Very gravely injured. We have Victra. I've liked her. I mean, I guess I did say her earlier, but I do like her. I've liked her the whole time. I've been rooting for her. And so she said, I had no idea. Because, like, why would they freaking shoot her in the back, Yeah. If she was in on it. So that was kind of like a good, I hope she lives. Because, like, that is the most obvious, I'm on your side, Darrow. Get it together.
Yeah. I love
And that's part of his problem, Darrow. I mean, I understand, understandably so. He doesn't know who he can trust. But sometimes at the sacrifice of those relationships, it's detrimental. Not trusting some of them. Because Roke... Everybody kept telling him, come on. But you keep giving the jackal the benefit of the doubt? Come on. Come on, guy. Mm-hmm. It's hard.
So are there any new places we need to know about or houses or anything like that?
So the houses that, like, I don't want to go through. There's a billion. There's a billion houses. Listen, if you want to go on to red-rising.fandom.com, people have laid out like everything. That is a great tool. Definitely utilize it if you need to. But for me, in my brain, I think the most important houses that we're working with right now are obviously House Augustus, who Darrow's been working with, and then their arch enemy, the Bologna. And then we have the Andromenus family was Darrow's like pseudo last name. So when you see that come up, okay. But any other ones that you want to mention right now? Because obviously there's just different like family groups. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the only other ones that are important are just like, I think it's the Julii family, which is Victor's family, because obviously her evil sister is probably going to come back around at some point. I feel like those are kind of the main ones at this time.
Okay, so I thought this would be important moving forward, and I don't want to have to do it again, so reference it if you guys need to. The solar system, as I also I've never been good at the solar system in general. So fun fact is, most of the planets and moons referenced in Red Rising are actually a part of our solar system that we are a part of here in Earth in real life. Okay. So that's that helps my brain, because a lot of these names feel so made up, but they're not, other than a couple, which I don't know which ones are fake. Sorry. So description of the map. So let's talk map here for a second, because I should have looked this up sooner, but it just really helped my brain understand the literal universe better, because it feels like they're just hopping from planet to planet. But no, there's a reason, there's a rhyme, and there's a reason. Like you mentioned, Pierce Brown incorporated real science. I mean, that's what sci-fi is, right? Mixed with fiction. So the planets, though, themselves are real. So consisting of 8 planets, hundreds of moons, 7 dwarf planets, millions of asteroids, and other small bodies. It is the home of humankind, as well as the main territory of the society and its successor states, with control over different regions of the systems being the motivating factor behind the multitude of wars fought over the course of this post-conquering era. Obviously. So I'm pulling all of this from the fandom that I mentioned, so I'll link it down below. At the center of the system sits the sun, which we do know that. Okay. I do know
We've got that done. We've got that down.
Check.
Yeah.
But they also refer to it as the Sol. S-O-L, okay? Which is the star that serves as the namesake of the system around which all other objects orbit. The sun is orbited by 8 main planets. So just a little refresher for planetary school. Each named for a deity of Roman mythology, divided into 2 distinct regions. So we also have different like layers within that. So we have the core of the solar system, and it is made up of the terrestrial planets Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, alongside their moons, Luna and Phoebus and Deimos. Luna is what our moon is, for reference. So we got Sol and Luna. And then we have the rim. So that's the next layer. Let's think of it right in the center of our solar system, if you think of it as just a circle. And it is home to the gas giants Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, along with the Trojan and Greek asteroid clusters that they talk about. The 2 regions are separated by a ring of millions of asteroids known as the asteroid belt, while the outer boundary of the rim, all the way on the outside, rim, is bordered by a similar formation known as Kuiper belt that extends up to 7.4 billion kilometers from the sun. Pretty far. In addition to...
Super far.
super far away, guys. In addition to the 8 main planets, the solar system is also home to at least 7 dwarf planets, with Ceres located in the asteroid belt, and Pluto, Eris, Haumea, Quaoar, and Makemake, and Orcus in the Kuiper. Beyond the Kuiper belt lies a sphere of billions of icy planetesimals known as the Oort cloud. So there we go.
Okay. So I feel like, yeah, that's super useful for you to have included that. I also think that in our limited editions that we just picked up, they map out all the planets.
Should I look at one of the books that I bought one day? Sure.
I think that they did. I just took a brief look, so I don't know if it went into it as in depth, but I think that it's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That
great.
is beautiful. That is wonderful.
So yeah, it's a fantasy map, but it's a planet map. So it's just, it's kind of same idea. You know, it's right there in the beginning.
Outside of like sci-fi, since we're not in school anymore and I'm 38 years old, I just don't think about the universe that much as planets go.
Yeah,
like, totally. I think about the universe as like a theory, not like a actual conceptualizing how things are laid out.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
I hope that was a useful refresher. I mean, you guys can always skip forward if you don't like what we're talking about, but it helped me. And looking at these pictures do help my brain. If you don't have this edition or you're e-reading, there's a lot of maps up on there, which I will link down in the description box as well, because there was another map that I was looking at with basically the same one, just a fan made it. So I will link all of that down below, because it's getting hard. It's getting heavy. It's getting fast. It's getting deep. So,
well, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, like, to use the Game of Thrones analogy again, it's nice to know who the houses are, who controls what territories, where they're trying to gain control, etc. But that can be a lot to hold in your head, as we all learned trying to watch that show or read the books. So it's nice to have these resources that you can reference without getting spoilers. That's the key, because I oftentimes am hesitant to look things up ahead of time because I don't want to know anything. I don't want to know anything. Yeah.
And it's not a spoiler to know about your solar system.
No.
So, hey, that's good. But the links that I will put, like the Wikipedia that I got the character list from, it's only Golden Sun. So we're not going to see any sneak peeks there if you utilize those that we leave for you. Because, I agree. It's hard. It's kind of like what we dealt with Wuthering Heights. Not that Red Rising is like Wuthering Heights, but that you're getting a story, but then you're also trying to unravel all these family lineages and places and things. But how do you do that without being spoiled is hard. Yeah. So, this is there are tools out there, so definitely utilize them, because then you don't get bogged down, because that's what happens to me in the sci-fi stories, especially, is that I'm getting bogged down with the details, and so it's hard for me to just pay attention to what's happening, because it's hard for me to focus on both.
Yeah, so for sure.
Now I feel confident going into the next book. I was still pretty muddy going into Golden Sun, and so now I'm not. I feel good.
That's good.
I don't know about you, but I feel good about it.
I feel like I'm just trying to trust the journey while also doing my due diligence. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's and that's all you can do, because you also want to enjoy it. You don't want to pick it apart so much that you can't have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? It's a balance.
Mm-hmm. I will say, reading Red Rising has gotten me in a fantasy mood. So I've been watching Star Wars with the fam and other things. I watched The Fifth Element, and it's just getting me in the vibe. So I'm just feeling the vibe, feeling the flow, and it's helping me visualize things as I go. Not to rhyme, but it felt good.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think Kanan wants to watch Fifth Element tonight. So
there you go.
There we go. Okay, so lore. There are 12 Olympic knights in the solar system sworn to protect the compact of the society against all who defy it. They represent what the Golds see as the dominant themes of man, the same as their school houses. So there's mourning, rage, protean. I don't know what that means. Sorry, guys. I was I need to look this up, and then I completely forgot because of the 5-sentence summary. Storm, wind, hearth, truth, joy, death, cloud, fear, and love. So I feel like that's important for my brain, because I kept thinking okay, who are these knights? I feel like they just keep popping up, and I'm who are you? And how many of there are you? And what are you doing? So that's how many exist. There are 12. And I also thought that it was important to note that they are sworn to protect the compact of the society against all who define it. I feel like that's going to come up again and again. Ooh, and probably again. Yeah.
I didn't even think about that, TBH. So thanks. That's good. That's helpful.
SOS. Yeah. Okay. SOS, everything, right?
Yeah.
I want to look up what that means really quick, because now I am curious. It means tending or able to change frequently or easily. Okay. Protean. Okay. All right. Now that we've had that little lesson in the planets and in grammar. Okay.
School is out of session.
Yeah. So, okay. This is a long piece of lore, but I feel like it's important to note, because it shows us kind of what we're dealing with, and it paints some of the history that wasn't going to go in the summary, okay? All right. When Nero was 7, his father found himself in dispute with Julius Bologna, Cassius's grandfather. Nero's father attempted to have the Browns, who served the Bologna, poison the entire family at supper. The plan failed. A house war began. Nero's father summoned his bannermen and led them against the Bologna and the arch-governor Silas, who had declared his forces for Julius Bologna. The sitting sovereign did not intervene and instead allowed the two families to go to war. Eventually, Nero's father found himself besieged in Aegea with his fleet, or when his fleet was destroyed and captured around Phobos. So Silas put House Augustus to death, sparing only young Nero from punishment. He was allowed to live so that an aged family that had partaken in the conquering did not disappear from history. It is said that Arch-Governor Silas even gave young Nero grapes to quench his thirst because there was no water as the city burned around them. After that, he raised him in his own court. So then we're going to fast forward a little bit. 20 years later, Nero, who had always been considered an honorable and honest man, much unlike his wicked father, asked for Lona Abelona's hand in marriage. She was the youngest and favorite daughter of old Julius. With hopes of mending the lingering wounds of past generations and making Mars strong and unified, Arch-Governor Silas agreed. Bellona married Augustus, and that night when the Bellona family returned to their estate with the rest of their family, a package arrived. Inside, old Julius found his daughter's head, grapes stuffed in Iona's mouth along with 2 wedding rings. He summoned his daughters and sons, including Cassius' father, and flew to the citadel to ask for justice from Arch-Governor Silas, as he had 20 years prior when the Augustus first rose up. But instead of his old friend, he found young Nero on the Arch-Governor's throne, backed by Praetorians and 2 Olympic knights. I was among them, having been told that Silas was a threat to the society by my sovereign. I did as I was commanded. The house of Silas was wiped out and stricken from the record. I found out later that Nero contrived an agreement with the daughter of the sitting sovereign. You know her as Octavia Lune. Younger then, she convinced her father to give Nero the throne of Mars and his revenge. In return, she earned Nero's support when she led the faction that overthrew and killed her own father 5 years later. So I picked that specifically out because, okay, we are dealing with the implications of that generational blood feud that has been going on because of this. And it also shows that essentially there is a pattern of the sitting sovereign not actually being someone who imparts the law, but rather someone who will choose favorites and then play that game from the inside, depending on who they favor at that time. So I feel like it's an important record to kind of like break down, but then also that way we kind of like have our feelers out there for how that might play out going forward.
Yikes.
Because that's a lot of craziness. Like when I read that part, I was like, oh my God, my brain, it hurts. My brain hurts. Yeah.
That was important to bring up. Thank you.
Yeah.
Very
good.
good.
So I guess we should just get into our favorite and least favorite parts.
Okay.
All right. What was your favorite part, Ashley?
I love the banter and getting to know the characters. Okay. Mm-hmm. I just loved that. Mm-hmm. I also loved the freaking murder dance battle. Let's call it that. Of the beginning ballroom scene. Like that whole crazy scene. Like, whoa. What a time.
It was awesome, but crazy.
I think of it as dancing, because they're dancing with their swords. They're just freaking bludgeoning, and it's crazy. And then everybody starts fighting, and it was so chaotic, and I just ate it up. That was nuts.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really important part because that was the whole start of
the
catalyst for everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I put my favorite, I had so many favorite parts, but if I had to really break it down, I would say, the last scene, we love a good bloodbath. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, that was like, I literally remember talking to one of my clients about it at work, and I was like, I have been very stressed in a lot of different books over the ages, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know that I have ever had the physical response that I had to reading the end of Golden Sun. Like, my heart it felt like I was running.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, like, this is crazy. Like, the amount of, like, stress, because it's coming. And you're just, like, trying to, like, be cool, even though it's not going to go well, but you don't know how. And then he just throws it all at us in literally a chapter. So cool.
Yeah.
So I put that. I also put the Iron Rain. That was pretty iconic. Loved that. Visiting his family, getting to talk to his mom.
Yeah, that's that time with his mom, as short as it was. Yeah. I did love that.
I did appreciate the kind of, standoff with Mustang there at the end when they're having that conversation about, what they really stand for moving forward. And then also a major moment that stands out to me in my mind is when he essentially talks to Ragnar about free will and what that means. And, Ragnar chooses to essentially reframe his entire worldview to give himself some agency. I loved that scene. I thought that was great.
Yeah. Yes. I had that down in my past notes. I just remembered that I wrote that down before I made these notes. So I agree. I loved that scene with Ragnar. And then also alternatively, a similar situation with Tactus, even after he freaking turned on him again for like the millionth time. And he's still giving him like some grace and some hope that he can change. And then freaking Lauren stabs him.
Yeah, Lauren's like, the things I see.
Things.
Yeah, totally.
Because it's like, is he just another jackal? Like, is he going to just turn again and on we go? But it's like that compassion that he has, that it's like Darrow is a good person, like better than me, because I'm like, kill that motherfucker, like get him out of here.
Yeah.
It's easy as like spectators of these political games to say stuff like that, because at the end of the day, like, I would hope we would all be Darrow, and want to try to see the good in people and realize that they're just cogs in this terrible system.
Well, he's trying to also maintain some of his humanity, I think, is a big part of it too, because he sees the Golds as lacking humanity. And so, it's the age-old theme that we've talked about again and again. It's like, what's the point of overthrowing a system if you're just going to replace it with the same kind of tyranny, So it's like, that's, I think, what Darrow is trying to be cognizant of, like, moving forward, whether it be, consciously or subconsciously.
Yeah.
So, what was your least favorite part?
Yeah, I hated Fitchner's head in the box. I hated it. Not that I would change it, but like I was just realized when you were talking about it. I was like, I was standing at the same place that I'm pretty sure I read the ending of Hunger Games at. And I'm just like, I was making dinner and like reading and listening and doing that immersive thing. And then I'm like literally screaming out loud. Ah! Crying, tears, fire coming out the ears. And my daughter's like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not. Immediately texting Liz, how dare you? Yeah. And it's only going to get worse. That's what it's like, I know things are going to get so much more brutal. This is only book 2.
Well, it's only book 2, but it's also like only just the beginning of the war. Like we haven't even gone through the whole war yet. Yeah. Oof. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
My least favorite part, because I loved every freaking nugget of this entire book, to be honest, so it really took me a lot. Like, there was things I didn't like, obviously, but was there something I actually didn't like? And there was, I found.
Oh, okay. All right. Hit us with
I don't like that Darrow trusts the jackal when Mustang explicitly told him not to.
Yeah, like, annoyingly so. And everybody else, too. Like, that's Darrow's flaw. It's like, you're going to trust... He's more skeptical of other people like Mustang than he is the jackal.
Yeah.
Like, that has to be infuriating.
Well, yeah, he's like, Victra, I don't know, she might turn on me, but the jackal, I mean, it's probably fine. It's like literally...
That feels sexist.
Like, literally, Mustang is saying, he's my twin brother, and I can't freaking trust him as far as I can throw him. You know what I mean? She's like, don't get into bed with this dude. He's freaking evil. Obviously, you know that because Mustang was the one who captured her own brother and delivered him to Darrow at the crazy Hunger Games school, whatever that was called.
Like, she has proven so many times. Like, this is a bad dude.
Yeah, so I just put here, get an effing grip. Like, literally, I get it. Darrow can't make all the right decisions. Also, he's still only 20 years old or something like that, okay?
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, fine. But at the same time, it's like, you're literally trusting the worst guy and hoping it won't turn out like he's the worst guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that pissed me off.
Yeah.
Repeatedly.
Yeah. And I knew that was coming, like, Pierce gave it all to us. He's like, they're going to keep telling him not to trust him. And he's going to keep telling him, hey, take care of Rook. Like, this is not good. And he's like, yeah, but later, I'll deal with that later. Like, well,
I get it. It's like you can't do everything. You can't be everywhere. You can't be everything to everyone. But and he's 20 years old trying to blindly lead a rebellion. It's like, okay, you're going to make mistakes. But that's like the big, that should be like the big obvious one.
yeah.
Mustang tells me not to trust her own twin brother, and she's given me no reason not to trust her.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless there's something we
is,
don't know.
He is gaining stuff though by having him in his like pocket, technically.
Yeah. Like maybe,
So.
and maybe he considered that. Maybe he considered, you know, even if he betrays me at some point in time, using him in the meantime will have been worth it. I don't know what the logic is there.
Yeah, it has to be. Well, because he double crossed the Jackal already. You know,
Yeah.
he pretended. You know, with that.
Well, they're
whole
not
orchestration.
friends. They're not
Yeah.
friends. But I feel like he trusted him too much.
Like, still, yeah, he still lets his guard down.
Yeah.
Enough to have this happen. And the Jackal's smart, and he has eyes out everywhere. Like, he has eyes out everywhere. Like, he also.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That was the only part that I didn't like because I just felt like, dude, why are you not? You're taking it too far. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, who is your favorite character then?
Okay, while flawed at the end of the day, I do, and I did, really like Lorne.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, because he's an old dude. He has some still antiquated beliefs, but I love that his character gave us the proof that we can always learn and we can always grow. You know, we don't know everything. He regrets not giving Tactus a chance and stabbing him.
Yeah.
You know, and he admits it, and he admits his fault. So, I loved him. I also loved Fitchner officially. I was like, oh, he's so Haymitch coded. Ah!
Yeah.
So, I loved that he was pretending to be just like a slob, like black, but like good at his job in ways, but not. And then, meanwhile, he's orchestrated everything.
Behind the scenes.
Loved it.
Yeah.
So good. R.I.P.
I know.
Both of them.
I know.
What about you?
I mean, I feel like this is a perfect example of how it's building us up for a really great found family situation. I just love so many. Like, I love Darrow. I love Mustang. I love Victra. Lorne, R.I.P. Love Ragnar, Kavax, Severo. Like, literally, I am like, there's so many good characters. It was really hard for me to pick one. Like, yeah. Because they were all amazing. And I agree. I feel like Lorne's purpose in a lot of ways was to show us that I feel like that's a perspective that oftentimes younger people or, people with more radical beliefs will encounter, where it's like, no, this is the way that it is. You can try as hard as you want to try, and it probably won't pan out in the way that you think it will in your idealized, naive viewpoint. And so I think that he served a really interesting purpose, like having that kind of perspective. So I did appreciate that a lot. Yes. And then my least favorite characters, I didn't have anybody who I didn't like, who literally we weren't supposed to not like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's like, I put, take your pick.
Yeah.
The Jackal, because he's just straight up evil. That's what I hate about the Jackal, is that, like, he's just a sociopath.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about anything. He doesn't care about keeping order. He just wants to be the top.
Yeah.
He just wants to freaking cause chaos and fracturing. And as soon as he gets to the top, he's going to be bored and he's going to do something else. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of evil that he is. And then, Antonia just needs to calm the F down.
Yeah,
like, calm
literally.
Down. Calm down, dude. Like, take a chill pill. And she's just an opportunist, I think. She's just trying to rise the ranks, you know?
Totally. Yeah.
So.
Pliny, he sucks. He got what's coming to him, though,
So there is an opening scene in The Mandalorian, and it totally reminded me of that room that they're in with Pliny when he gets what's coming to him.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't pan out exactly the same style, but like I'm like, oh, whoa, cool. I just read this scene. It totally is like the same envisioning.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love a good, like, revenge or he gets what he deserves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know, right? So let's just talk about a little bit like Darrow's character growth and progression, because I think that this is a lot that's going to become very important. I think it's already important, like moving forward, because I feel like we're seeing Darrow's worldview expand as he grows up and has these bigger experiences. I mean, obviously, it's like on this insane level. But he, he's also like developing his own, ethical framework, political framework, philosophical as well. And I feel like that's important because it's helping us to kind of like see the world like how he sees it, but also to critique it and see what might be, good and bad, what's evil, what's not, through his eyes. So what do you think at this point about Darrow's character?
Friggin' Pierce is writing him perfectly, because this is exactly, I feel like, that age of your life that you are forming all of that core belief system for yourself with these real world experiences that he's having. He's trying, it's going to be interesting to see where his character goes in the next book, because he's trying in this book so hard to give people the benefit of the doubt and like give them the opportunity to see differently, but trying to do it in a way that still protects himself and his cause. So I'm curious to see where that goes now that he has been burned again by especially somebody close to him like Roke. So what is that going to look like? But I love Darrow's character. I think he's very real. And I think that, he makes some, he's like you've said, he's very Aelin, like he's making these plans and not letting everybody know about his plans, and that can be frustrating, but it's like, it's so hard to not take his side with that, with like just the planning and the scheming, because he doesn't really know at the end of the day who he can trust.
Or who he might get killed if he includes them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of see this book, Golden Sun, as, okay, so we had Red Rising. Obviously, Darrow is a kid, right? We've got his origin story. We have his beginnings in this world. Like, he's just getting his legs, It's like he has this crazy situation, but like he's figuring it out a little bit, or so he thinks. I feel like I see this book as those years in your early 20s where you are, it's like, you have all the audacity. You think you're grown up, but you're not. You think you know the answer, but you don't. You think you have a, experienced worldview, but really at the end of the day, probably not. Because you're just figuring it out. It's like, but you also think that you're invincible, that it's a dangerous amount of inexperience and a naive look at the larger world. That's just dangerous because it can have really dire consequences. And actually, so that's how I see this book. I see this as the transition of Darrow between being a teenager, being a boy, completely naive, to maybe having a little bit more knowledge moving forward as a little bit more of an adult, because right now he's getting knocked down a bunch of pegs.
Yeah. He's in the FAFO era.
Yeah, and it's not going well.
He's finding out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what is that going to mean for him as a person after this?
Right. Like, how is he going to use that?
It could go one or two ways. Yeah.
Well, so I pulled this quote out, and this was from his conversation with his mom, but I wanted to share it right now because I feel like this encapsulates it very well. So he's talking to her. He said, "Someone has to fix all this. Someone has to break the chains." And his mom says, "And that someone is you?" And he says, "Why is she doubting me?" "Yes, it is. I'm not being foolish. I can lead us out of here, out of slavery." She says, "To where? To the surface?" She speaks of it familiarly, as if she's known the truth of Mars for years, not minutes. Perhaps she has. Where we will do what? All we know is the mines. All we know is how to dig, how to harvest silk. If what you say is true and there are hundreds of millions of Reds on Mars, how will there be enough homes for us up there? How will there be enough work? Most won't leave the mines, even if they know. You'll see, they'll just stay miners, and their children will be miners, and their children's children, except the nobility will be lost. Do you think about these things? And Darrow says, "Of course I do." "And do you have an answer?" "Well, no." And she says, "Men." She rubs her right temple. "Your father was one to jump without looking." Her expression tells me what she thinks of that. "Helldivers all think they provide for the clans. No, the women do." She gestures around. "Everything you see made by a woman, but you know how to shape the world, don't you? You know how it should be." And I was like, to me, that was like the moment where it became really clear to me that it's like he's still so, I don't even just want to say naive, because it's like he's still so optimistic, but in a way that he doesn't recognize that the things that he wants to do are also going to gravely hurt those that he loves and the people that he doesn't want to harm.
Yeah.
And I think his mom is trying to say, like, think about the bigger picture here. Like, there's a lot more things that you're missing. You've got a lot of blind spots that you don't even realize are there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I love his character too, but I feel like you said it perfectly. Pierce Brown's writing his character, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's see. Where are we on this crazy journey? Oh, your favorite tropes. Yes. What do you have today?
Found family.
Me too.
I'm loving it.
Yeah. Same.
Conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Especially with Mustang discovering the conspiracies, basically, we'll say that, with her thesis, we'll say, with it being freaking actually Fitchner's story that she discovers.
Yeah, right.
That was a crazy moment.
Yeah.
So that leads me to believe, like, Mustang, I think she's going to come back, and I think she's going to see the light, because I think the seeds are already planted there for her, but it's just kind of breaking out of that indoctrination since, how she was raised.
Totally.
So I'm hoping that is the case. And then the other one would be rehabilitation with, like, within people's psyches and their belief system. Mm-hmm. So I think that we're seeing that with a few characters now. Hopefully more.
Well, yeah, it's a huge theme, just with, like, the whole break the chains imagery, right? It's throughout. Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is cheating, number 4, but big, scary, strong men with hearts of gold. Ragnar. Love him.
I love him so much. Much. Yeah. I mean, I put Found Family was my number 1 for sure. Political Subterfuge, number 2. Yep. And then I put Uprising for number 3. Yeah. Because we love all of those things all the time.
Yeah. That's what the book's all about, baby.
Yep. And then
what's your least favorite?
Betrayal.
Yeah, that's mine too, obviously. Oh,
because it was betrayal. So bad. It was so bad. It's like, literally, if you're Roke, are you not, like, what are you thinking in that moment? You know what I mean?
I hate it. I don't love Roke's character yet as a character. Like, obviously, but if he's a deep thinker and a poet, there's a disconnect there for me. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, is he just a superficial poet? Like, just one of those guys. It's like, oh, I love art. Art is so good. Because it's like, if he's a deep thinker, like, he should be able to, like, understand just by observing what's going on with Darrow and the people that he's taking under his wing, you know? Mm-hmm. So,
I mean, the real life implications of what he just did, it's like, dude, have you no heart? He isn't a sociopath as far as we know. It's like with the Jackal, it's like we can kind of understand why he did what he did. But it's like with him, it's kind of like you were so, I don't even know, hurt by Darrow not cluing you in to everything that he was doing every step of the way through this journey that you decide to full on sell out the rebellion, essentially. Like, it was
a little too far.
Literally, just like punch him in the face or something and like move on. You know what I mean?
Sleep with Mustang. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this was like a Winston prank, but like way too much. You know what I mean? Right? You went too hard. You went too hard, and now everyone's dead. Great.
Like, how are you going to come back from that?
You can't. It's like Darth Vader territory. You know what I mean? It's like, you're evil now. Okay, great.
Like, and it seemed like dare I say an overreaction?
Literally, it was.
So, like, not getting enough attention from your best friend. Like, I know that, like, that happens in people's, around that age as their development in the early 20s, like friendships are changing and forming and like,
well, yeah,
but it's like, yeah, that's when you sleep with the best friend. Like, that's when you sleep with their girlfriend, not like bring somebody's head in a box.
You went too far.
A little too Godfather. Like,
yeah.
You went too far, Roke. You went too...
Yeah. Well, and that's what, okay.
That's more than hurting. That's like dissolving every single thing. Like, it's just spiteful. Like, did he do anything that bad?
Well, it's like,
really?
You burned every bridge.
He put him to sleep so he wouldn't be a part of this freaking bloody battle that he doesn't know that he was going to blow him up. Yeah, he probably should have told him. But I don't know. It seemed like an overreaction.
I think this is my 2 cents. I might be thinking too far into this, okay? But I think that Pierce Brown is using his character specifically to show that even if in real life you are able to make friends with and collaborate with others who you otherwise wouldn't, right? Like we're talking about like at the Institute or whatever you want to say. And form some kind of, trauma bond, camaraderie, whatever you want to call it, grow up with, that doesn't necessarily erase the hundreds of years of conditioning. And I think at the core of himself, that's what Roke is really struggling with. I think that he just can't handle, at the end of the day, the fact that Darrow is who he is.
Yeah.
I think that I think he would have probably like been his right-hand man till the end had Darrow remained who he thought he was, a gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it literally boils down to that.
Yeah.
Because
basically he believes exactly what Augustus was saying. Yeah. Like, this is what needs to happen because humanity is terrible, but it's like we ended up being in the same system and they don't even see it, Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Because they just are holier than thou. It's like a God complex.
It's a God complex, and it is also just it's a God complex, a savior complex. Like, it's their responsibility to keep humanity in whatever boxes that are necessary to ensure our survival as a people. You know what I mean? It's like, maybe it's not up to you. Like, I don't know. Why do you have that much power? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also just so much internalized bias.
Yeah.
Also.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's crazy.
And betrayal was your least favorite trope as well, obviously.
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we had to have it. We had to have a lot of it, but I hated it. All right, we're back, but you probably didn't even know we were gone. So if you're watching the YouTube video, we might look a little bit different. It's just a different day. Life gets in the way, all those things. So we're back. We're continuing on. Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, so themes. Here we are with themes from Golden Sun. So moving forward, we're just going to clump together political themes, dystopian themes, potential sci-fi themes. That way we can just kind of talk about them and we don't have to like list them all off separately, because at this point I think we can pretty much agree on the fact that they are all intertwining anyways. So much. Okay, so let's just start off with the political and dystopian themes. So you want to just go back and forth, or do you want me to give you?
Let's do it.
So my first one specific to this book was the meaning of freedom. So like, what is it? Who can grant it? And is it even real?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Especially with the speech from his mom, like down under. down in the mines. Yeah, like it definitely like puts that into perspective there. Like, what is that going to mean for them? Is it possible?
Well, yeah, and just like under like freedom under whom, and like what confines will that new government or whatever you're going to put in place, it's like we've talked about this over and over again, like what kind of quote unquote freedoms will be allowed to us then? Will that actually feel like more freedom, or, will it feel like we're just being upended from all that we've ever known? To go back to that conversation. So I really appreciated that theme because I feel like it kind of, makes us stop and think about like, who the good guys are, who the bad guys are. Is good and evil really real? Or is it just like, depends on who's interpreting the information?
Yeah. And who it affects. Is it affecting negative or positive? Like how much of this? It's a sticky situation for sure.
It's very murky. So I like that in this book, it seems like that concept, like Darrow is like kind of thinking that through a little bit more, I think, you know, and we talked about that with this character about how as he is aging and moving forward and, you know, getting knocked down quite a few pegs, he's having to like really think these things through a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So what do you have?
Yeah, kind of along those lines, but status quo versus reformation.
Okay, so then my second one, I feel like was very close to what you just said. So I put like the difference between this idea of like reformation within like the confines that are already determined versus like a complete like dismantling. So it's one of my like most favorite quotes in the world, by Audre Lorde, the, you know, feminist theorizer. The master's tools will not dismantle the master's house. You know, I'm paraphrasing. But yeah, I feel like literally Pierce Brown took that and just reworded it. Man cannot be freed by the same injustice that enslaved it. Very similar. And so that was one of the political themes that I really appreciated because, and dystopian themes, because it kind of aligns with that same thing of what is freedom, who can grant it. Are we even able to change a system enough from the inside, right? It's the reformation versus dismantling argument. Are we even able to do that, or does the whole system need to be torn down and rebuilt from the ground up for it to actually have the effect that we need? Because it doesn't really make logical sense to think that we can restructure this completely corrupt system to work for more people if we're using all the same frameworks that built it to begin with, right? Like, that's kind of the point. Yeah. So yeah, I really, really like that we're grappling those ideas, and I feel like we're grappling with these ideas in this book a lot more, and I feel like those go really hand in hand as well. Do you want me to just go into my third one, and then...
No, I got another one.
Okay.
So I just lost my thought for that other one, but that's basically the same, you know, thing I was gonna say too. So familiar obligation, I always struggle with that word. Familiar, is that right? Like family?
Familial.
Familial obligation?
Yeah.
Familial obligation? Okay. Familial obligation versus personal beliefs, you know, because he is aging into that part of him that it's less selfish, right? It's less of a drive of revenge and things like that. He's having, and his mom is taking him and saying, you got to look at like the whole picture, you know? And I think we're going to start seeing that more and more. And that goes with everybody. We even see it with Mustang, you know, like she has this familial obligation to withhold. And that's kind of, she's been trying her best to operate within those means while also, and, you know, we don't fully know what's going on behind Mustang's head right now, but we see a bit, you know, she's part of this revolution, even if she's not calling it that yet.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out where she fits in. Literally with all the golds that we're seeing, you know, having to have that kind of, their belief system that they were raised with is being shaken. But which path are they going to take? And I think sooner or later, I think all of us as humans kind of come to that. Like, what do I believe as a person? And does that align with either how I was raised, or in the flip side, not even with like just belief system, but like, how do I protect my family? Like, maybe they're good people. Maybe I love them. Like, how do I achieve my personal beliefs while still taking care of the people that I love? And that can be difficult to balance as well, as his mom has laid out. It's like, okay, that's great, but like, have you thought about the big picture? What are we going to do if you go through this huge revolution? Like, we are not educated in anything else. Like, do you have something in place to help with that transition? So I think we're going to see a lot more of that in the books following this one.
Well, and the flip side of that too, especially with, you know, someone like Mustang, is, you know, and now, as we know, with like someone like Roke, is, are you willing to, maybe your family aren't good people.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and let's say that, you know, you have that kind of like paradigm shifting, like moment of cognitive dissonance where you realize that your entire reality is like being literally and figuratively blown up because maybe your family are evil dictators. I don't know, for example.
Yeah.
And having to grapple with the fact that what are the ethics behind, going against your own family for something that you believe to be true. Just because you believe it to be true doesn't necessarily mean that it's right or true. It's like, and around you go. It's like, is it just the hubris of being 20 years old and thinking that you have the high moral, ethical ground? Or do you really? And it's like, so I think that's another thing that Mustang is dealing with. Because I think on a fundamental level, she understands that her family is really problematic, but that doesn't necessarily mean that she wants them completely wiped off the face of the universe either,
Right. Like, that's still, I think we're all ingrained to believe, like, that's still your family. You still have a moral obligation to care for them, even if they're bad. This is out of left field, but I don't usually watch anything from Tana Mojo, I think is her name, right? That huge, like, influencer from back in the day. I mean, I guess she's still around because she came up on my feed on TikTok of her talking about her family. Her parents are bad people. Her mom is dying on her deathbed. And she's just talking about dealing with that, like dealing with those emotions of like, I've cut them off 10 years ago. I'm no contact with them, but I'm told they're still my family. Like, that's my mom. That's the person who birthed me, and just like as simple as trying to figure out if you want to go to their deathbed or not, Yeah. So talking in this sphere and pulling that way, just how we can kind of see some similarities of our life mirrored into fantasy and sci-fi. Obviously, we're not talking about huge planetary like realignment and revolution, but that's the same themes that we can encounter in our day-to-day lives of like, what do these familiar obligations mean? And do I have to abide by these standards that society made, even when we know these people are evil incarnate,
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, no. Are we dealing with like an interplanetary war at this time? No. However, I think that right now, a lot of people are grappling with that on a very serious political level within families and with people that they've been previously close to, because it does matter because it's a difference of morals and ethics,
right?
So I think that is relatable in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Because it's crazy. It's hard, and I see you guys out there that are also struggling, and it's difficult. It's like, how do I deal with that, them being my parents or a family member or whatever, when we're not, it's like, that thing that goes around. It's like, it's not the difference of pizza toppings. Like, this is humanitarian differences. Like, this is a fundamental moral difference. But because you're my family, I have to like just accept it. So that's why I think we're going to be exploring it even deeper with these characters moving forward, because it's just so important for human nature and what society has laid out for us, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to my dad about this book yesterday on the phone, and we were talking about how he just read Lord of the Flies, and he suggested that I reread it because he read it like literally right before going into Red Rising, and it's just it's the fundamental human truths that we're grappling with. Like, that's really it. You know what I mean? And it's like again and again, like we're faced with these same like dilemmas, moral, ethical, political dilemmas. And I think that we're just watching Darrow and, his found family figure it out. Right. As they move through it, like figure out what they're actually dealing with and how the cycles just are continuously repeat over and over again. Yeah.
And it's not going to be easy. And characters are going to make mistakes. I expect them to, and that's why I don't hold any of these characters, but especially Darrow, to like such a God tier level of like expectations, because that isn't what the book is about. Like, this is about the learning and growing and having and holding, but like what it means to become human and adult and make all these decisions and even though it's a fantasy world, obviously, like we just talked about, we can pull all these themes into our real world and what it mirrors. It's crazy. Crazy, man.
Yeah, and I think, Lauren played a really important part in this book, too, because we see how he's gone kind of full circle. Not full circle, but, like, he's gone from, basically sticking it to the man his whole life to like also working within the system to the degree that he felt necessary to, you know, also stick it to the man, but more from the inside, to then alienating himself from the current society to the point where he's like, I just want to retire and like live out here in my, you know, freaking floating castle or whatever. Like, let me be. You know, it shows also, I think, the life cycle of like a lot of people when they discover that the world is a lot bigger and outside of themselves. And then how do you handle that? Like shift in perspective, and where do you go? Like after you've already like fought, you know, 1,000 wars, what do you do after that?
Yeah, the 1,000 wars that went nowhere of what your expectations were. And it's like, you become exhausted, you know, you become, like disillusioned, you know? So when a strapping young boy comes along and says he's going to change the world for the same thing, you're like, listen, save yourself, you know, 70 years of anguish and just go live on an island now, because it ain't going to go anywhere. But Darrow is showing him that these things take time, just like we see in the Hunger Games. It isn't like a one person fix all Band-Aid solution. Like, these things are going to take time to dismantle and disrupt. And that was such a beautiful moment that he had that realization, a little too sad, too late. But it was also nice showing that, like, you can teach an old dog new tricks. Even though it's not it's not new tricks, but it's like, he was still open to seeing the change.
For sure. Yeah. I think
people.
that's why I liked it, was because it was realistic. It wasn't like he was so despondent that he was like, you're an idiot for even trying. Right. Yeah. Like, that wasn't the tone. It also wasn't like he, you know, just was so self-involved at that point that he just didn't care. It was like he recognizes the struggle because he's been fighting his whole life, and now he's tired and wants to chill with his grandkids and like relax. And so he's like, but at the same time he gets it. But like after, you know, he, you know, killed, why am I blanking out on his name? Who does,
Tactus.
Yeah, after he kills Tactus, he still has remorse for that situation. I thought that was important too, like if you're showing character growth, because it's like, even though he got roped into this thing he doesn't necessarily want to do, he's still at heart like a rebel, but he understands that maybe the like cutthroat way of going about things up until this point is no longer what is working. So we need to implement some like new things. So I thought that was a good moment too.
Yeah. So much symbolism in this small moment that we see in this book. And I love that Pierce Brown chose. I was rooting for Tactus too, as horrible as a person that it can be and the mistakes that he makes, because he is the symbolism of what it means to align with your familial obligations, right? Because that's what he's doing. He's trying to win back his family and take over in that way. So seeing that personified. And then I think what Lorne did was what a lot of us readers are rooting for. Like, he's going to backstab you again. Like, just end it now to save yourself later. Like we see with the jackal, you know? But I love that we could see that and see the remorse from Lorne. And it was such a good, unexpected thing for an author to do compared to the other books that we read, you know? Because we're very, I think as fantasy readers, we have some bloodlust in us, you know?
Oh, totally. And, you know, thirst for revenge. Lots of times we don't think people deserve a, you know, redemption arc, whatever you want to call it. But I think that is part of it, is like questioning our own feelings and motives behind why were we rooting for, you know, Tactus to either live or not live. Right. And if we were happy or not happy once, you know, Lorne stabbed him and he died, it's like, why is that? Because you have to think like that would almost be a remnant of, or, you know, it's like they're doing the same things that the society is doing. Like, you're meting out justice, like on your own, like behalf because you think that it's due. And so it's like, okay, you're kind of just perpetuating the same cycles of violence that you're trying to dismantle, and that goes right back around to the same thing we were just talking about.
Yeah.
So I like
beautifully done.
I like the philosophy. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Mm-hmm. So do you have any more that you want to
just like we've talked about the whole time, obviously racism, classism, eugenics, you see even more in this one. Eugenics for the greater good. Hey, what I want to know, and maybe we'll find out later, is do they really have to go in and like get surgery to change their, sex organs to be able to have offspring with other colors? Because that's crazy. Because Servo's parents, that's what they did.
Yeah.
So she had to change because she was red, right?
Yeah.
And he was a gold. So she had to go in operation to change her fallopian tubes to be able to reproduce. That's some long lines of evolution to change within 700 years. So I just am skeptical of that.
Well, it's a lot of like
being reality or being what they're told that has to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, but it also, there's the way that I understood it anyway, is they've invested so much like scientific research into specifically breeding golds. So I don't necessarily know that like there's that much genetic difference between the lower colors as there are between the lower colors and specifically golds.
Yeah, because red's at the bottom and gold. So like maybe like to bring it back to Akatar, an Alarian situation, he doesn't have
That's
wings.
exactly what I thought. That's exactly what I thought of.
But the child would be so large, or that maybe their eggs are bigger or something, that they wouldn't travel down. I don't know. The sperm wouldn't travel up there. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of like viewed it as just like a logistical problem. Yeah, as far as maybe, because they're substantially taller, substantially stronger. So, like, maybe she just wouldn't have been able to, like, host the child of a gold because of those reasons.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously eugenics are playing a huge role in this whole class system. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. So I put, another couple that I had were the cycle of violence, which I feel like is mentioned often. So it's that whole, like, death begets death begets death. So I think that ties back into, that idea of, man cannot be freed by the same injustice that enslaved it. It's like, okay, so we're just going to do the same thing, apologize for it, quote unquote, reform a little bit to like appease, enough of the people to like continue on, and then just do the same thing over and over and over again. And it's like, that's obviously worked for some people, quote unquote, up until this time, but it can only last so long, which I thought one of the things that I've been thinking a lot about is this idea that once you have so much disparity between, like, let's just say at this point, the golds and everyone else, then it's almost like the golds have to turn on each other because they don't, what does he say? They got bored because there's no one else who's left to fight.
Yeah.
So it's like, I love that concept too, where it's almost like you created your like own doom because of the fact that you created this, like species or subspecies of human or whatever you want to call it, whose main focus is to annihilate or like subjugate, conquer, all other, like anyone, quote unquote, below them. So it's like you've genetically modified a group of people to want to be better than everyone else. So why would they not eventually turn on each other?
Yeah. Or like that's going to be the problem for the rest of existence unless dismantling is done. Because it's just going to be family against family against family against family. And even family against themselves, against their own family. Yeah. And that's what we're working with right now, which is a good opportunity and a good time for Darrow to come in and hopefully make a difference. Because, they're preaching, like Augustus is preaching of like, we are the best thing for humanity. This is for the greater good. These systems, he's basically describing the golds, what they're doing currently with like all of humanity was doing that. Mm-hmm. So it's like, well, now we have slaves and we can do it. Like that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So they're, I mean, and a lot of times that is what we see, right? It's maybe I don't believe it, but maybe let's play devil's advocate. Originally, this was for the greater good, to create this symbiotic peace within rankings. You can't have that with slaves, but okay. But that's what they think. That's what they restructured everything and what they fed people, what they fed the Reds.
It's the official party
years.
line is what it is. Like, that's it, you know?
And so you're going to believe that, but then to go and still be toting that belief system and not realizing that you're doing the same thing, it's like crazy. I mean, typical.
But also I wonder if it's like they, on some level, do know what they're doing and just do it anyway.
But they benefit, because they benefit from it.
Yeah.
And like you said, at that point, it's like innate within their DNA.
Yeah.
They've been bred and also eugenically modified for all these years to be this way. Mm-hmm. Not to excuse it, but it's like, then how do you dismantle that?
Yeah, it makes it a lot harder when you're also dealing with, like this whole insane genetic aspect too. I mean, their literal brains are changed. It's like, it's interesting symbolism when you think of it that way. Yeah.
It's like asking the bear to swim with the fish, you know?
Yeah. But it's also like multi-layered because of the fact that it's like, you know, the bear isn't necessarily cognizant of the fact that they ended up a bear this way intentionally. Whereas like, the Golds did this on purpose. Yeah. With the knowledge and ability to do so.
Yeah, and they genetically modified all the other people to be in their place too. So it's even crazy. It's like, it's my brain breaking. You know, we don't get to pick where we're born, right? And obviously the same thing goes to Red Rising in that sci-fi sphere. You don't get to choose what parents you have, what family you have, what country you're born in, anything like that. So they take that, the Golds, and then they genetically modify it even more so. So they're purposely creating their slaves. They're purposely, intentionally creating the Golds and the Pinks and everybody like that. So then that's like a whole different ethical dilemma going on.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because it takes the idea of like a traditional hierarchy or like, you know, separation like you would see in the Hunger Games where we're dealing with like humans, you know, just regular humans. And like making that times like 1,000 because you're like, you're ingraining these attributes into people intentionally.
Yeah, because it's like, we know it's not your fault you're born a red, but we made you a red. But we're going to make you a slave because you're a red, but you're only born a red because we said you could be born a red. Mm-hmm, you know, it's super, well, what a trip. It's crazy.
Yeah. I feel like, you know, he took it a step further here, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have any more specifically in this? Because I have one left.
We could go on and on. So go ahead and, because then we'll talk about sci-fi themes and feminist themes specifically, right? Okay, go ahead.
So I just put here sexism in a way that we haven't really talked about too much. So I thought this was really interesting. So this is a quote from Augustus to Leto, if I'm remembering correctly. Okay. In any manner, Leto, you're forgetting we designed red culture to be highly patriarchal. Their identity as a people centers around the collection of resources to propagate the embryonic terraforming of Mars. Physically strenuous, grueling tasks performed by men, tasks we don't let their women perform, even if they are capable, pursuant to the stratification protocol. So you see, it can't be a woman because no roughneck ruster would follow a man or a woman who has never ridden a claw drill. So they're talking about, like, who could potentially be behind, like, you know, the rebel attacks. Well, it couldn't be a woman because we have not just implemented this into law, but also into this, like, fabrication of culture, identity, physical attributes, etc., to be inherently patriarchal. So like even if they don't recognize that they have that bias, they will play it out based on X, Y, and Z, or that's what they think. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I think we're finding that human nature is to oftentimes rebel against what you're told to be quote unquote true, but then also to follow, you know, what you feel to be right. So what do we do know? There are plenty of women involved in the rebellion. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought that was an interesting little quote because I don't think that we've talked a whole lot about this at this point. But we do know that that was something that the Golds have intentionally woven into society. I'm not sure exactly how that works once you get up to gold status, because obviously we have Octavia, who, you know, is the sovereign, but she took that by killing her own father. So it's like, I'm not really sure how that kind of patriarchal like setup works once we get to the gold level, but I think we might find out more of that with Mustang.
Seems to be more insidious with the Golds, obviously, because Augustus did not, he wanted, and quote, a male heir. Why? Why? You know?
Yeah, he has a fully capable, super smart.
Like even, like, you lost your favorite son, whatever, and, like, and you want now the jackal, like, that's your best? Give me a break. No, you're gonna adopt somebody else?
Yeah, literally.
Like,
Because he's like, well, the jackal is obviously a sociopath.
Yeah,
I think even Augustus knew that.
he passes up his crazy ass son, the jackal, because obviously, so that's fair. but passes up Mustang and chooses to adopt over having a female heir.
Two people. He's like literally like working with this other guy, whatever his name was.
Oh,
Leto.
yeah, there's that
Well,
dude,
then he
too.
gets
Yeah.
killed by the jackal, right? Okay, well,
Yeah.
he's out. So, I guess we'll try Darrow. It's like literally to be Mustang would just be like how is she
not more ragey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Because she's
and
like,
Jackal, you could argue, is the way that he is. Sure, he had obviously psychotic tendencies since a youth, but like it totally would have pushed him over the edge to be skipped over, you know? Even if it was warranted because he's, you know, has a few screws loose.
yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. It's like, okay, well, here we are. It's like daddy issues over and over and over again. Tale as old as time, you know?
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, so
it's, so they tote around that they're high and mighty and all the golds are equal for golds, but even them, it's not. Like, them, it's a patriarchy, it's sexist, and there's issues. So,
yeah. But I guess I just, like, what I wonder is, like, if really that runs so deep, how has Octavia been able to maintain power all of this time? You know what I mean? And gone relatively, at least from what it sounds like, for a while, like, unchallenged until this uprising started. You know? So I'd be like, obviously we know the lore of that because I made sure to like insert that to share it so that we have that moving forward. But I would just be a little bit curious as to like how she's managed to even make it this far.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So what about specific sci-fi themes do you have, or feminist sci-fi themes that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah. Advanced technology and how it can play a part in dismantling the human psyche. We're dealing with that right now on Earth. Okay. Yeah. I thought it was interesting too, Augustus's speech about like where we were before the wars and how they branched off into the planets was about, you know, humans becoming lazy, utilizing what is almost described to be like AI tools and not using their brains anymore and using technology to do basic human everyday tasks. So I just found that was interesting because this was published in 2015. Like this was before ChatGPT, everything being so accessible and easy to use. So it's really trippy as somebody who's very anti-AI and ChatGPT to see it being played out in real life in schools, with kids, with people, businesses, like everything of how it's making people in real time lose brain function and become reliant on computers to do the simplest of tasks, simplest of like, what should I eat today? ChatGPT. It's like, that's great.
At the expense of our own well-being, earth, planet, clean water, air, etc. Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why sci-fi is so fascinating, and I think it'll always be so fascinating, is because of the fact that it's like these authors are oftentimes describing situations that haven't happened yet, in ways that haven't happened yet, based on just what we know to be true now and what they predict can happen in the future. You know, it's like all the like great dystopian
1984.
Yeah, 1984, Brave New World, you know, The Handmaid's Tale, etc. It's like, I think that that's what sci-fi authors do so well. And so it's great and not great, right? to see Pierce Brown, I feel like, you know, following in those footsteps, like these are big shoes to fill, and I think he's doing a great job, like paving his own way there. So yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that sci-fi does best, I think. It's like, you know, every time I think about, you know, AI taking us all out at some point, I always just think of the Terminator, and it's like, how long ago did that come out? Like, come on, guys. Like, we grew up on this kind of stuff, and that was easily accessible. That wasn't like having to read something with potentially very complex political themes. You know, it's like, it's just, it was something we all watched
us for so long. Like, all the formats, all the things.
Literally.
You know? Yeah.
One of the sci-fi themes I thought was really interesting that I hadn't really thought about too much was technology and advancement being used to subjugate. Yes, of course, like we've been talking about this. But then what ends up actually being the result of that is a stagnation in progress.
Yeah.
So I loved that was brought up too, because it's like we're kind of fed this idea that, you know, more technology means more advancement. It means more progress, whatever, you know, that's a very like subjective term, but you guys get what I mean. We're taught in this country, at least, that progress is linear. So the more technology we have, the more forward we can get, the more advanced we can get. And actually what ends up happening oftentimes, to use AI as an example, is we actually end up stagnating our own growth because we take out the human element that drives us to actually achieve or to explore or to make that forward movement at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, that's cool, because I hadn't, it's not cool. Okay. But it's cool to think about it, because I hadn't really thought about that too much up until like that conversation comes up. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah. And we have to sit back and think about like who these things benefit, like with our real life and then within these books. Like, what are these systems in place? Who are they benefiting? In what way? Why? How? What are they doing to get there? Like, and then to talk about our own lives, like who is benefiting from us freely right now, using and becoming addicted to as a crutch AI and ChatGPT. And what, because things aren't just given for free in life, like here, you know? So what are we losing to do those things? You know, what are the clans losing in the mines in order to maintain status quo? You know, a lot. We know that because it's more obvious, you know, but it's all these, technology advances. It's, wow, rabbit holes I can go on to a million years. So I'll just cut myself off there.
But it's like, that's why these books are important though, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like those were the ones that I had, and I still maintain the fact that, you know, I don't know that we would have ever read Red Rising in, like, my feminist science fiction classes, but all of the themes that we are mentioning are all very, like, based in feminist theory, for sure. So they're one and the same, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I know how this book made me feel. Liz, how did it make you feel?
My exact words I typed here were, this book made me feel like my heart was going to explode out of my chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I put screaming, crying, and throwing up. What an emotional roller coaster. It's hard to say a roller coaster. It just feels like, okay, it's the kind of roller coaster that shoots you off into space. It's Space Mountain. It's space, and Space Mountain in space, because there's no stopping. There's no tick, 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 tick. It's right out the gate. You shoot off like the Incredicoaster. And you're just going.
Yeah, no, it's so true. It's so true. Yeah, I feel like the heart palpitations during this book were very strong. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I did have something else I wanted to mention before we move on to the next little section here that I forgot to talk about before, that is applicable to the differences that we have made up regarding like romance versus sci-fi.
Okay.
So I see that I have my notes here that I completely like skimmed over this part. So there was romance in this book. So I put here a little asterisk. We did finally get romance between Darrow and Mustang that was used explicitly to push Darrow's character to grow. So I would pose the question, how is this different since it's a quote unquote guy's book? Also his obsession with Io, but his simultaneous rejection of her choosing without his knowledge to take his child, you know, or their child with her when she went. I feel like these are all topics, and I have several quotes to substantiate my claims. These are all topics that I feel like if explored in a fantasy novel written by a woman would then push it into a quote unquote romantasy category. Not that I find anything to be wrong with that, but it would be something that would differentiate it into a different genre altogether. Okay. So I wrote down these quotes just to show some things that stood out to me. Okay. So this is from, you know, Darrow's perspective. The Golds didn't just kill her. They killed what I've always wanted to be, a husband and a father.
Yeah.
Which is super sad, but it's also interesting that those are that's his internal monologue at this point, that was what he wanted to be most in the world. Okay.
Yeah.
Another, I wipe the tears from her face with my thumb. She is different from her people. And when she tries to do as they do, it cracks her heart to the core. Looking at her, I know I was wrong. She is not a distraction. She does not compromise my mission. She is the point of it all. So he's talking about Mustang.
Yeah.
That sounds very romancy to me. I don't know. That
sounds like a bit of a driving force.
Yeah.
You know, to the reasons why they're doing all these things for love, for romance.
Again, you know, this is quote from Lorne. I would not have raised you to be a great man. There is no peace for great men. I would have had you be a decent one. I would have given you the quiet strength to grow old with the woman you love. So again, same theme. This one was really important to me. This is Darrow. This race, what a beautiful monster. They carry all of humanity's strengths except one, empathy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the last one that I wrote down. I hate how my body shivers at the idea of glory. There's something deep in man that hungers for this, but I think it weakness, not strength, to abandon decency for that strange, darker spirit. So it's like, you know, we're seeing him grapple with this idea that, you know, he considers empathy to be the greatest strength that one could have as an individual. And it's the one most important thing that the Golds lack, whether that's been genetically modified out of them or we don't really know, right? But either way, they lack most of it. He's framing, you know, the idea of glory, ego, like hubris, all those kinds of things as being people's downfall. That is actually weakness. Strength is in helping people. It's in doing the right thing. You know, and he also is valuing that interpersonal connection that often comes back to love, whether it be symbolized through his marriage with Io and her death, or now through Mustang and their relationship. And so I felt like it was important to point those things out because those things are not then categorizing this book into a different category. They're just allowed to exist and be there. And our main character is allowed to feel those things without it saying anything necessarily about his strength or character in general. You know what I mean? He's just grappling with it. And he's allowed to.
Yeah. So here's my thing. Darrow is way more romantic than Katniss ever was.
Oh.
Okay? So I just did a quick little Google search over here.
Oh no! Am I gonna get mad?
We love romance. There's nothing wrong with romance. We just want people to call it what it is. Why are you only labeling female written books to be romance, whether it's there or not? Honestly, most of the time. And then the male authors who actually do clearly have romance in it, not labeling it romance. So I just for fun. Just a little fun game. Let's play. I Googled, does Golden Sun have romance? No. Golden Sun is not a romance novel, okay? What about Hunger Games? Is Hunger Games a romance? Yes, the Hunger Games features romance. That's so interesting because to me, spoiler for the Hunger Games if you haven't read it yet, Katniss is very much not a romantic. She doesn't really want the whole thing with Peeta is not romantic in any way. It's very much a means to get food. He throws her a loaf of bread. On his end, sure, but she's very friend-zoney to everybody, because she's not interested.
It's a tactic to stay alive is what it is. It's a tactic to keep...
why do I want to bring another child into this terrible world?
Yeah.
She's not interested. It's very clear when you read it. Not when you just watch the movie, but when you read it. And then... That's why I say Darrow is way more romantic because his internal monologue has so much love and romance as a driving force, as you just quoted.
Well, yeah, because he's kind of shifting right now from his driving force being the revenge of the murder of his wife, right? To now, he still has that, but now he's moving forward towards... what kind of life would he potentially envision to have and what kind of world would he want to have for not just his family and in Eo's honor, but then also potentially for Mustang, who he is arguably in love with now.
Yeah.
So,
and the situation with Mustang, she's using her station of power to manipulate the different political systems at play, going with Cassius, trying to get under the arm of the, of whatever her name is. And all those different things that we're seeing with that, are you with him? Are you not with him? Because we see that too. Was it romantic? Was it not? We see in all of our fantasy books written by females that are labeled as romance, then in the greater public written off as, yuck. When it's there's nothing wrong with it. So why aren't we labeling Red Rising that too? Because you guys have deemed something wrong with it. That's stupid. You guys are stupid. Not you guys listening, because you guys all agree with us, but the people that do that are stupid. Sorry. Said it.
Yeah, it's just... I don't, we can have this talk forever, but it's I don't think either of us disagree with the fact of having romantasy be a category. I like that romantasy is a category. I think it's nice. I think lots of times it helps me find books that I'd potentially like to read. However, what I don't like is when things are either not categorized accordingly or are categorized incorrectly. That bothers me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what bothers me, because up until this point in time, obviously we've made a lot of progress, but there are still definitely connotations that are there that are attributed to all the different categories. One major one being the fact that by not saying that there's romance in Golden Sun, when arguably that's the complete driving force of the main character for this, at least, beginning trilogy. I don't know what happens after the original 3.
Yeah.
But it's by taking that away, I think that you dissuade certain people who might enjoy it from reading it, right? And then by, oftentimes reducing a lot of romance or a lot of fantasy written by women to quote unquote just romance or whatever, then you're also alienating a lot of people who might potentially enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? It's that's what I don't like about it. It's can't we just understand that love and romance is a core fundamental human emotion that we all, have some kind of experience with in one way or the other, and so it would be odd to not include it.
Yeah.
In some capacity, big or small. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyways, that was my little section on let's prove that Darrow is actually very similar to one of the MMCs in one of our romantasy books. Very similar. The crush I am developing on Darrow is very strong at this point. And I love that for him.
It's very burn the world for her. He's taking on her mission of what she did in her final hours and taking it and blowing this popsicle stand, blowing everything up for her. She's the spark, yeah. without her doing that, without that romance being involved, none of this would even be there. So,
Well, that, and I feel like we're seeing, you know, that character growth with Darrow also allowing himself to be vulnerable with Mustang. That was huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, this book made me feel all of the things. Like, yeah,
Yes.
like my heart was
Needless
going to
to
beat out
say.
of my chest, but also like, okay, this literally is so, or he is so similar to, like, add Darrow to the book boyfriend list.
Yeah.
Did I expect that or see it coming? Like, I did not. But that is because we assign these categories and values arbitrarily to, like, these different books based on, like, what we think they're going to be. And so I'm glad that I just went into it with an open mind, not knowing anything about it, because it's been a great time.
Yeah.
Great.
Totally.
Surprises around every corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, good or bad, good or bad.
Yeah.
So, all right, what are the unanswered questions you have going into book 3? Because I have a few.
I mean, obviously, where is Mustang? Where in the space is Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah.
Where's she at? Where are you at, B?
Yep.
I think my hope and guess is that she just needed some time to cool off, figure some things out, and she's going to come back. So I know you've already started reading. Don't deny or confirm. Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I put because I made these notes right when I had finished. So I just put, yeah, what's Mustang doing? Where's Severo at?
Yeah. Is Victra okay?
Is Victra okay? Yeah, literally. Is Ragnar okay? Yeah.
Was that really Fitchner's head saying it? So I think it was, but I wish it wasn't.
My main ones, though, are these two. Why in the world is the Sovereign working with the Jackal?
Yeah.
Because the Sovereign might be a lot of things, but stupid?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
That seems suspicious to me. I don't get it.
Unless, like, she knows nobody could get to, like, she's failed so many times now getting Darrow that
Yeah.
she needs to enlist this kook.
Maybe, I guess, but I'm just like, I
Yeah.
don't know. And then my other one is, what's up with Roke? Is he truly evil? So there's something inside me that wants to hold out a little glimmer of hope that, like, Roke is doing something, like he's playing some kind of crazy long game, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, the answer is probably just that he went to the dark side, as they sometimes do. But I would like it if, you know, we got an interesting twist with this character moving forward. So we'll see.
And dare I say, I don't know what magic Pierce is putting into these books, but I'm still hoping for Cassius too. Like, he's
totally
made mistakes too, but like, is he gonna? Because he's so indoctrinated. I don't know. It's like I feel bad. It's like Hunger Games. I feel bad for everybody. They're all cogs in this machine. So I'm still rooting for people that I wouldn't normally be rooting for in any other fantasy style book.
Yeah, I feel like same. I would love to see Cassius have a redemption arc and have he and Darrow and Mustang work together to like lead this whole shebang.
Like they both killed, like at the end of the day, Cassius is really holding this grudge because he killed his brother. Like I get that, but they all had to.
Yeah.
What, he wanted him to die? Like he needs to just grow up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, and try to like.
Well, it kind of seems like at this point it's like he's just doubling down. But now his whole family's dead. So it's like maybe now he'll be like, well, you know what I mean? Like what do I have to really like who do I have to impress now? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yes, I am also hoping for a full Cassius redemption. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, are you excited to start Morningstar?
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah. After that ending, I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
How anyone could not be.
It was hard not to start. I get it now. I get it.
And then, okay, you got any notable quotes?
Yeah, I do. Okay, this is just a funny one. He's partial to sending in holograms of uniquely perverted unicorns and video clips of him reading puns. Which, like, is so meaningless. That's Servo to Darrow. I love it. I just love it.
They're the best. They're the best. I love this one. I thought I could change the worlds. What young fool doesn't? Instead, I have been swallowed by the machine of this vast empire as it rumbles inexorably on.
My fingers clutched together. Funny to think these hands have been with me this whole time. They touched her lips. They helped pull her ankles. They buried her. I'm gonna cry reading it. They buried her in the soil, but they didn't just bury her, did they? No, they buried another life, one unborn, our child. Okay, that's not romantic in any way. Okay.
Yeah, this one. Let him think he owns me. Let him welcome me into his house so I might burn it down. But then his daughter takes my hand and I feel all the lies fall heavy on my shoulders. They say a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. They made no mention of the heart.
Oh, such a good one. So give me evil, give me darkness, make me the bloody damn devil if we can bring even the faintest ray of light.
Yeah, I had that one too. So good.
Yeah.
A fool pulls the leaves, a brute chops the trunk, a sage digs the roots.
Oh, I am a child of hell and I've spent too long in their heaven. Woo!
I claw because I carry the torch of something that must not die, that must not go out.
This is a beloved quote of Fitchner. This just sums up why I love him so much. Me, the jackal takes a step forward. I am the heir to this house. Pass. You're creepy. He shoots the jackal in the chest with a stun fist. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm. Victor says this, and I think this might have been one of the moments where I was like, I am Team Victor, probably till the end. She's talking to Darrow. You love women, but you do not enjoy us.
Ugh. Yeah. Oof.
You got any more?
Let's see. I mean, I have a million. That's the problem.
I know. I have quite a few, too.
Okay. I'll try to limit it to just one more. They were given colors, lives limited and ordered so that we could destroy the timeless cycle of our race. Prosperity to greed to war. Gold was meant to shepherd the other colors, not devour them. Now we are trapped again in that cycle, the very thing we endeavored to avoid.
Yep.
Because, like, duh. You didn't see that coming, really? Oh,
I love
so
it
many.
when Mustang says this, when Darrow's trying to, he's not letting her talk and tell her whole story about what she's been up to. And she said, my heart does not make my brain a fool.
Oh.
Loved that.
That's a good one. I loved that. Yeah, I had that there too. Okay, sorry, one more. If Tactus can change, gold can change. They must be broken, but they must be given a chance. I think that's what Io would have wanted in the end.
Aegea is a city of 20 million souls, but how many of those will give a lick who wins today? There is no difference between the rule of the Bologna and the rule of the Augustuses. Coppers and silvers will care, but the reds, the browns, the pinks will just watch another master take the chains.
Yeah.
I thought that was very applicable to our world, especially today.
Yep.
So that's what society does. Spread the blame so there is no villain. So it's futile to even begin to find a villain or to find justice. It's just machinery, processes, and it rumbles on inexorably till a whole generation rises that will throw themselves on the gears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is. Boom.
Okay, so let's talk reviews. So when I made these notes a week ago or so, Goodreads had 547,038 reviews, and it gets an average of a 4.51 star. So incredibly high, and actually quite a few reviews also. So that's exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
From the Audible reviews. So definitely take a listen because it is really good.
It is good.
55,999 ratings, and it gets a 4.8. So it's pretty high as well.
Are you getting that from the original or from the dramatized audio?
That's the original.
Okay, yeah. That's the one that I've been listening to too, but I think that I've decided, because everyone's been saying the dramatized audios are like literally amazing. So I think once we start book 4, I'm going to try one out just to see. So I could like let you guys know how it is, but then also just to test it out for myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I feel like that pretty much covers Golden Sun. Do you have anything left that you want to say before we close this out and bring Morning Star next week? Oh my God.
No, I think we've kept them long enough today.
Yeah, I'm just curious. My biggest thing is, I've been avoiding spoilers like the plague. So
Yeah.
I am curious to find out why the original trilogy is separate from the second 4 books. Like what that means. You know what I mean? Because I know that there is a distinct, like, this is the original trilogy and this is the rest, but why?
Huh. Yeah. Interesting.
So I guess we'll
Because
find
I hear
out.
such great things about the final 3 books too.
Oh, totally.
So
yeah.
and they get bigger and longer. So I'm so curious. Well, we'll find out soon. I hope.
Yep.
Depends.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you guys, thank you for joining us today in our deep dive discussion on Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. If you aren't following and subscribed yet, make sure you do that anywhere you like to listen to favorite podcasts, including YouTube. That way you get notified when our next episode goes out, which is next Friday. And before that, we have episodes every Tuesday. And you can also follow us over on Instagram, TikTok. We are at Besties in the Books Podcast everywhere. And you guys, we'll see you
next
Tuesday.
And
Bye.
Friday. Bye.